Having a proper functioning dust collection system is probably one of the most important things that you can have in your wood shop, both for your health and just because you don't want to have a bunch of dust in the air while you're working on your projects. It's really nasty and it's just terrible. You don't want to do that. So what we have in our wood shop here is we have a bandsaw, we have a joiner, we have a planer, and a drum sander that all run off of this dust collector here and this entire system. Then we have two other independent systems, one for our table saw and one for our miter saw. We're going to run through these systems and how we set them up specific to our wood shop and show you some tricks along the way for setting up your own dust collection system inside your wood shop so you don't have a bunch of dust in the air and you can work on your projects and stay healthy. So we're going to go through that right now. So the dust collector is a 1.5 horsepower machine up on the wall, and where the suction power comes from is a 6-inch port. And well, all of my machines are 4-inch ports, so I have a reducer right here from a 6-inch to a 4-inch, and then from there is another reducer which is a 4-inch to a 3-inch, so that it can reduce back to a 4-inch. It's really confusing, but this thing works. It fits on the dust collector very nicely, and this hose goes to our dust deputy, which is on our bucket. Okay, so as I talked about, this part right here connects to the dust collector, but I didn't talk about the other part, which is on this side. So as I said, this is a 4-inch pipe, but the dust deputy has a 5-inch port, so I had to get a reducer from a 4-inch to a 5-inch so that it connects perfectly right on top. So basically what this dust deputy does is basically cyclones all the dust through it. It takes the power from the dust collector, all the suction power, and it powers the cyclone up so that all the dust falls into the 55-gallon bucket or drum instead of going to the dust collector. So you have to change out the filter constantly, and the bag, it only collects the really fine dust. It doesn't collect all the big chips from the planer or the joiner. So these things are really nice. It's very easy to clean, and it makes the shop life a lot easier. Alright, so here's a quick tip for maximizing the performance with the Dusty Deputy here. We got it mounted to this 3/4 piece of plywood, and on the bottom here we use the router to cut out this massive groove which sits on the 55-gallon drum, so that way when we have it on, the suction power is maximized and the dust is not escaping through the little gaps in the can. Keeps all the dust inside, keeps us breathing healthy, and works out pretty well. Alright, so we got everything put back together here with our main dust collector. So how it works is we have a main pipe that runs all the way down the side of the shop here, but in the beginning of our pipe run, we do have a little stoppage here, and we got this little piece that we made up. One of these goes to our bandsaw and the other one goes out to our tools in the shop here that we have laid out in the middle of the floor. We're going to show you guys how we made this thing and how it works, so let's get into it. So we have the assembly attached to the wall, and it has 2 blast gates on it, meaning so you get the most maximum suction from the tool. So if I'm using the bandsaw, I would open up this blast gate and keep this one closed so that I would have the most suction from the bandsaw, making less dust in the air. I would close this when I'm using my planer. I would open this one up. Planer and my drum sander go to this one. Blast gates are awesome. They work perfect. Get as many as you can. I also have one for my joiner, and it keeps the most suction to every tool that you're using at that time. So making our way to the very end of our main dust collection system pipeline here, we have the joiner with just a single blast gate to control that airflow. But now we're going to show you guys the independent system we have set up for the table saw and how that works. So we're going to do that right now. Alright, so over here at our independent dust collection system for the table saw, I just want to run through our ideas with this one and why we set it up this way. So this used to be our old dust collector in place of that 1.5-horse one. We upgraded to that one about a year ago or so, and we decided to put this one independently just to the table saw because we were tired of having the pipe run come all the way down here to the table saw. We used to have it stem off of where the joiner came through, and it was just not enough power to get rid of that dust with the table saw since it does create the most dust in the shop. So we got this one
independently, been rocking it for about a year now, and it's worked really, really well. We do have it set up with that remote feature, which is really nice when you're standing at the saw. You can just flip it on and start cutting. We set a 55-gallon black garbage bag here at the bottom because the bag it came with wasn't big enough for the amount of dust that we kept putting through this thing as we were cutting all day long. So that worked out great. We got to change it out once in a while, but this independent system is awesome for the table saw, and if you're setting up your shop for maximum airflow, this is definitely something you might want to consider. So we have made our way to the other side of the wood shop here to talk about our final independent system for collecting dust here, which is just our Festool vacuum. So we are at our miter saw station. I have the hose hooked up into the miter saw dust collection port, and I also have it plugged in here. So this vacuum's pretty cool. It's got a really nice auto feature. So when you plug your tool in, it'll automatically turn the vacuum on when you turn your tool on, which is handy because sometimes you forget to turn the vacuum on, and this thing will automatically do it, so you don't have to remember every time. It also has a manual feature on here for cleaning up the surface area, so you can simply switch it to that. It'll turn the vacuum on, and then you can clean. It also has an adjustable speed here for the suction power that the vacuum is putting out. So if you're sanding a piece and you don't want the sander to get stuck to the piece that you're sanding, you can simply adjust that, and it'll make sure that you're not sticking your sander to your piece of wood when you're trying to sand, and it'll put out the right amount of suction power that you need. So it's really, really handy because it is extremely adjustable there, as you guys can see. So that just about wraps this thing up. It's pretty cool though. We did put it on a drawer slide here so that when we use it out in the shop, we can simply pull it out like this, which gives us some extra room here with the hose so that we can travel a little bit further with our tools, and also makes it a little bit handy for storage because we can simply just push it right back in, and that's about it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like, hit that subscribe button, let us know what you guys want to see next. Do you want to see us do some more build projects type stuff? Do you want to see a shop tour or more like tips and tricks types videos? We'll probably mix it up, but just let us know. If you have any questions about the dust collection stuff, leave it in the comments down below. We'll try to get back to you. But that just about wraps it up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.